everyone, I'm Anam.
And I'm Ksenia. Welcome to This Wasn't in the Manual. Today's guest has built a life that blends ambition, motherhood, and purpose. And she's been honest about all the highs and lows along the way.
We're joined by Nawal. Over the past 15 years, she's carved out a successful career in tech world, balanced raising 2 kids, and built a growing coaching practice on the side, all while calling Dubai a home. Let's get into it. Hi, Nawal.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for being with us. We're so excited to have you for our last episode for the season.
Woo, congratulations.
Thank you. Nawal, I'm so happy to see you here. I already know a little bit of your story, but for our listeners, let's start from the beginning. I know that you moved to Dubai like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe it. When I say it, sometimes I say like 15 years ago, and then when I thinking about it, 15 years, you know? It's a
Did you
lifetime.
also have an exit plan when you came?
Everyone
most-
had, right?
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I'll stay a year, and then you buy a car, and then it's 5 years, and then you kind of like get into it, and you're like, yay, you're striving.
Yeah, exactly.
So it wasn't your plan to stay here for a long, right?
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. Yeah, so I was coming here for like the international Dubai, you know, work and networking and the vibe and everything, and then I found myself here.
How exactly did you manage to move here? Did you get a job opportunity?
Yes, I did. I was very young. I just graduated from uni for like 6 months, and I was working in a company in Lebanon. And then my friend moved here, and she was like, hey, how about you move? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then in 2 weeks' time, I got a job offer in Dubai, and I moved. Just like that. It was like so quick. It was so quick.
Has Dubai changed a lot since then?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like the rose just changed 15 minutes ago. So that's so Dubai, right? Yeah, Dubai have changed a lot. It's more inclusive now. That's what I would say. There's more options to what you would like to do and the communities you would like to engage with. I think that was the biggest eye-opening thing for me from where it was to where it is. And of course, like all the massive things that have been built across the last 15 years were like phenomenal, to be honest.
Yeah, the community space is incredible. I was just talking to someone yesterday about this, that the one thing you'll find is any interest you have. I was sitting there like, what do you mean? What kind of interest? I'm like, just name one.
Yeah.
And they name something, and I'm like, wait, there are 4 communities that can assist you with that. So I think that drastically has changed and helped with a lot of expats and their loneliness around here. So definitely, you're right. I mean, growing up, I've seen the same.
Yeah, because we all came like from a family, small or big, but it's still a family that, you know, was a nest that you've exited literally.
Exactly.
And you're coming here all by yourself and you're out there trying to...
100%.
Was it a big change in terms of the cultural things? Was it difficult to adjust here?
Wow, a lot. Where to start? So I feel like my first job was actually really cool in terms of like exposure to the nationalities. I remember a table, it was a dinner after 2 weeks of me landing here with like folks from an industry, and they were literally maybe like 8 or 9 people on the table of 9 different nationalities. And I was like, okay, what's happening? And you have to like cater it, you have to like, you know, put yourself out there, you have to be very empathetic, understanding, and not everyone talks the same language or understands the language similarly, if we may say. And also from different backgrounds, different experiences. And then also me moving as a single girl from Lebanon, I had to find my way through, you know, renting a house and knowing what's budgeting and literally living in a budget. Like, I've never done that.
Yeah, and there's literally no guide for that.
No guide, yeah. Like it wasn't in the manual. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Like you have to come here, figure things out. You need to rent a house. You need to find your furniture, all of that. So yeah, all of that came with the package, and that gets you into an experience you've never been before, right?
100%. And I've known you, Nawal, for like over a decade, and I've had the pleasure of knowing you through
Likewise.
different roles, and you've been fantastic. And Nawal is very fondly known in the industry. I've seen you successfully transition from roles to roles, and now you work in a fast-paced tech industry. Obviously, when you started, you were single, you were young, you were still young, but you have 2 beautiful babies.
Yes.
Has your relationship with ambition and success changed since motherhood?
Yeah. I would say it matured.
It matured.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Before, success for me was like, I want to land that job and I want to land that salary and I want to, like, have my status and all of that. And then things have changed massively since I had my firstborn child, and she's a girl.
Yeah.
So, you need to step up into that role model figure for her and try to, unwind all the limiting beliefs that you have, and also that you carry, the feelings that you carry as well. And much more than that is basically looking at yourself from her own eyes, right? And from there onward, you start taking decisions. And these decisions are very important in how you carve up your life and then also how you are present in it. I think being focused and being siloed on one area of focus is something, but then living as a whole is something completely different.
So you would say, since motherhood, of course, there's a lot of inner work and a lot of unlearning that you did, of course. But now, how would you say Nawal shows up at work or sees professional life? So if it's not money, if it's not the next title, what is she looking at now?
I'm looking for impact. Where whatever conversation I'm in, whatever relationship I'm building, whether that's business outcomes, because we are all business, of course, but then also looking at the person in front of me and really understanding where they come from, what drives them forward, and build that connection together. And then if there's any way, either both of us help the community in any way, shape, or form, or help each other out, would be something that's.
Yeah, that's wonderful, actually. That's perfect, because you said that you wanted to be a role model to your daughter, and that's exactly what you're doing. And I can attest that I've seen Nawal do some wonderful things, and I continue to see her do things that I'm sure her beautiful babies would be proud of. So that's amazing. I like that. And I think as we move through our careers, through different phases, it's important to, I think people and impact and just community is so, so important. I think I could not stop talking about this topic.
You know what I say? I feel like we're like chameleons shedding skin.
Yeah.
Right? This is the way we see us. Like, as much as we expose ourselves to situations, instances, even like problems that you face, they're not really problems. It's challenges, and you're overcoming these, and you're learning something about yourself that you've
100%.
never had before. So everything is an opportunity that comes along.
100%.
And when you start having that perspective in life, everything starts unfolding differently for you.
Doing new things will allow you to go to new places. We want to talk more about motherhood, but before we get into that, listen, nobody is unaware of your experience in tech, and there's a lot I know you've had previous conversation around tech, so we're going to save that. We want to talk about motherhood, we want to talk about you and coaching. So before we get into that, I want to ask you, what would be your advice to someone new getting into tech, especially as a parent, because they feel a bit anxious knowing that they have these, because having a child and the responsibility, like I don't think anyone can imagine once you have a child, the guilt, especially with mothers, there's so much guilt. And then looking at tech, which is always considered fast-paced, like you go into tech, you need to be young and you need to be ready to like grind. What would your advice be for them?
Yeah, and it's non-linear as well, to add to that. So it's fast-paced, you need to stay connected, you need to stay up to date, you need to have your networking in, but then also it's non-linear in the way that, meaning there's always a problem to solve, and it's for you to find that problem to find your way through it and build that career. I think I would first invite them to look inward and understand why are they getting into tech, to start with. What is their North Star? And if they don't have that established, it's an opportunity for them. It's not like, they don't have it established. No, it's an opportunity for them to really look inward and understand what is that journey for them? Why is it important for them? And what will it serve, right? And then after that, start looking at how much time it would demand and work out a balanced situation. And I know balance is a word that I just have to have everything perfect or every time, every minute of an hour. It doesn't work like that. Balance is more about how you set your priorities throughout the day. Where are you present mostly throughout that day? And then feeling good about it because it serves you on the long run. So that North Star is so important so that you stay aligned in that path. And without being too philosophical, it's basically how you stay attuned to your truth. Really. So that is very important. And then after that, how you're showing up for your kids, right? there's something that if it will increase your anxiety, and that's something that maybe you can go and basically have deep conversation and understand what are your triggers, right? So you can release yourself and be more adjusted into the new role that you're
Maybe
present
you
as
have,
well.
maybe you have some tips, something about your routine, for example, how exactly you find this balance, because I
Are
have
you
a
sure
lot
you
of
want me to
friends.
share that? Because everyone tells me, do you really just operate on a 24 hours? So
Exactly.
I plan everything to the details of things. And it's not routine. It's not like a routine that is fixed, because I'm not the kind of person that lives in a routine. It doesn't mean that what I do works for others. And it's really good to understand what's your flow, what keeps you going. For me, I have my kids' time in the morning, which is very important. Food is ready, everything's ready. I do weekly plans for food, groceries. So there's no we're out of butter, but it's easy now. Karim is there, right? And then I go to work. I'm fully present at work, and I love working with companies that are very flexible in timings. So it's not like a 9 to 6 job, although it can become a very much longer time, but you kind of like have that flexibility on where you're present at a certain point in your day, and that flexibility really helps me. So that was something I chose to continue to have, as well as then when I'm off work, there's like this not kind of like rule, but it's like a communicated, actually kind of like design your alliance with your manager, with your colleagues. Like from 6 to 8, I'm actually gonna be spending my time with my kids, and it's a very important time for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
To be honest, for me, it's also very important, because sometimes your boss asks you to work from 9 to 6, but it doesn't make sense, because maybe it's better when you are flexible, and this way you can fit so many things into your schedule, and at the same time you stay effective at your work, and it benefits you and the company, both of you. So yeah, I really
Yeah,
love this
100%.
idea.
I think COVID made us realize that so
Yeah.
much, because we're like, wait, why were we like taking sick leave to go to a dentist appointment? You know, it just made no sense. You guys are so right about this. I feel like when the employee feels like they have a life, they will be able to input more at work as well.
100%.
So yeah.
And designing that alliance with your and cadence with your manager, with your colleagues, and having that sense of understanding brings on that community around you that supports you, and that's what's important at work.
And what's interesting, I think that Dubai is kind of like is the place where you definitely need to have this flexibility, because every time you make an appointment with doctor, every time you need to go for some other stuff, every time all these people work from 9 to 6, so the same time you work.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like it's impossible to live in Dubai
Yeah.
and do not have this flexibility.
100%.
Because you'll never go to the doctor in this case.
Exactly. Recently, there's a dad at work. He was telling me about what his morning looks like. He wakes up early with his like 2 babies. They're like 3 and 5, I think, or a little younger. They wake up. He drops one of them to kindergarten, but his oldest one, who's a daughter as well. He first stops and he gets like a little coffee and like milkshake with her. They drink it together, and then he drops her. So he's like, that's my morning routine every day with both my kids. So my son gets dropped off because he's the son, and you know they're chaotic. They want to go play.
Of course.
But with his daughter, she wants some quality time. So he does that, and he comes and he has his own parking, so he can he has no worries, and everything is flexible because he gets his work done.
Yeah.
And before his babies sleep, he goes back home. So he's happy and he's rested. He's like, and his summer plans are wonderful. He's gonna go a bit to Europe for a month because we have the remote work possibilities. He's gonna take 2 weeks off and he's gonna go to Zanzibar. He's gonna stay there. So the kids are seeing the world in the summer. He's spending time with them. He's getting his work done.
And he feels alive.
Yeah, he feels alive. That's what, like, he looks alive as well. And it's somebody you know as well. So I just love it. I'm like, you just give me like Hallmark dad.
Yeah.
Like literally a Hallmark dad.
But you know, also, it's very important that the leadership understands this.
Yes.
Right? And this is where we've seen actually leadership have really been listening, have been adjusting. The policies have been really close to what makes my employees also, you know, delivering more on output, because that's what's important at the end of the day. And there has been massive adjustments, especially in tech, in the terms of starting time, like everyone. But there needs to be that allyship, like that thing needs to happen. That conversation needs to happen. And the employee also needs to understand the leaders ask. The leaders need to understand, and I'm sure they can find a way around it. And it's important to speak up. And speaking up is maybe another.
It's another topic. I swear, when you were talking about North Star as well and speaking up, I feel like I don't want to get into it now because we'll go on a tangent. But speaking up is a separate. You're coming again for sure. I need you here, season 2. Yeah, amazing.
Going back to motherhood, because for me it's a very interesting topic. I don't have any children, but I hope to have children one day.
Yes.
And I'm curious about maternity leave in Dubai. How does it work? How many days do you get? Is it like the same across all companies, or it depends from company to company?
It actually depends from company to company. So there's the government law, which is the minimum amount of time that is there. And then each company then provides it differently. Some follow even their own base, like their HQ base. For example, in France, they have 6 months. So they give them 6 months. Even paternity leave is important because actually motherhood is not a single person's job. It's actually a partner's job. So it's a mom and a dad that are actually, together in this journey. There has been massive improvements, but there's definitely more room to even make it, better for moms and exciting more for moms to embark on this journey without feeling as well. Like, can I tell you, be very honest on this one? I was in the elevator and I heard someone, a person just came back from maternity leave, and there was another person in the elevator. And he asked her, "Oh, you're back, and congratulations and whatnot." She's like, "Yeah, it's been 2 weeks." He's like, "Yeah, so you're back to the same role." And I was so curious, like the Nawal and me just stayed. And I activated. I'm like, I'm so curious. Like, what did he actually mean by that? She's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I?" And he got her so confused, and he got her so into that. And I think the level of maturity and understanding that we deserve to be alive, and we deserve to be treated in that manner, even if we choose to be moms and dad, felt for me that we're not there yet.
This is so interesting, because that was literally going to be my next question, which was, before becoming a mom, did you ever feel like having kids would hold you back in your career?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Yes, I did.
Tell us more about that.
I felt that maybe if I take that decision, I would basically be slower at my work. I won't have enough time as I used to have before dedicated to my work. And I will have, I'm going to discover myself as a mom. Like, it's my first time being a mom. And then I did it. I got pregnant, the whole thing. In the journey of because it's a 9 months kind of so there's time, Then during that, I was like, oh, okay. I'm getting tired. I actually went down to the car and slept. And I'm okay with that. And then, because when you get pregnant, you actually get a lot of sleepy. And then by the end of it, I got so much tired, but I still had to come to the office. But I came, and I designed that my lunch break would be towards the end of the day so that I can save time. And it worked. And the leader accepted, of course. And then I had Talia, and then I went into a postpartum depression. I was crying every single minute of the day. I was like, what did I just do to my life? I'm the one that's always out there. I'm now stuck at home. But I love her to death. I'm like, how can I love someone so much as well? I've never experienced that intense of a love as well. I'm like, okay, I feel like there's a lot that has been going on, and that's perfectly fine. And I'll tell you, 11 years ago, postpartum wasn't something that women talked about. So we weren't really aware that or is it okay? It's not a taboo to say that I have a depression because I had my firstborn child. Even dads have it, but no one talks about it.
Did people understand that you were going to postpartum depression? Because I feel like even today, there are a lot of partners who don't understand what a woman's body goes through after birth. And I feel like even though you've acknowledged it, was your surrounding as understanding?
I'll tell you, and I didn't even know I was passing through it. I felt like there was something wrong, and I didn't understand I couldn't diagnose it. I'm like, hormones. Everybody says that, hormones. But then it wasn't that. It was like my whole life just changed.
Of course.
My whole routine just changed. And no, to your point, no one understood I was in depression. Because although I have a very supportive family, like from both ends. They came and they let go of 3 months of their life to stay with me and support me. But they just are there for the kid, to support you with the kid, but they leave you by yourself to find your, to heal.
Find your way, yeah.
To find your way. And if I knew, maybe I would have done something differently.
Communicated differently.
Yes, I would have communicated differently. I would have felt that I'm understood. I wouldn't have hidden my emotions and like trapped them in my body and like have that stress all the time. And maybe I would have started to enjoy it even a bit earlier. And then it went away when I went back to work.
Oh, really? Like immediately?
Yeah, because like I'm back to my life. I'm there, you know, like that. And then the adjustments started to happen. And all of that is like not something, looking back at it, it might look so linear, but in that moment, it's so chaotic. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
How long did you stay on maternity leave for the
45 days in my first. And then I took intentionally 3 months in my second, although it's 45 days by law. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very short period of time. So imagine a 40-year-old child, like this big, is being left. So it's not, you know, like you also haven't really healed and you haven't adjusted yet. So you really need more time to do that. And I'm so happy that now the leadership in Dubai and in many companies have actually taken action and have increased that and made it a point that companies need to be okay with that and adjust their workforce to that, right?
That's interesting. I actually want, I maybe because I'm not in this situation, I don't know. I mean, I've had friends, but I know the paternity has increased.
Yeah.
I remember somebody at work saying, looking for somebody else who had just gone on paternity, and they're like, where is he? Like, he's gone on paternity. He's like, how long is he gone for? It's like 30 days. Like, in my days, we used to get 1 day.
1 day, yeah.
Yeah.
And in many companies, it's still just 5 days.
Yeah, it's just still 5 days.
Yeah.
How is it even possible?
Because it's just on the mom, right?
Yeah, it's just on the mom. So now they're coming to the idea that, okay, the husband needs to be there just as much. I feel like gradually they'll understand that there is something called postpartum depression. And I don't know if anyone's still talking about how to deal with it, though.
Not as much as they should, but there has been much bigger awareness around it. Yes. I would say that, yes, there has been much bigger awareness. There is one thing, though. After I had my Talia, some friends at work came to me and they said, and because I went back to my life completely, like I was able to adjust it completely because I'm really good in building systems. That's a strength that I have. So I built a system in my life that worked for me and worked for Talia, worked for everyone. And then she was like, oh my God, you make motherhood look so cool. I expected motherhood to be, you know what, like I'm shutting off my life. Like that's it. I'm dedicated 100% of my time for my child. And that's all I'm gonna do. But you actually make it sound like you can have more. Like you can still be you.
Yeah.
I wish I had met you then, because to be honest, that's exactly my experience. Because all my friends who got children, to be honest, they changed their life completely, and they cannot say that I look at them and I find this experience exciting. No, I don't. That's why I think that I keep postponing this experience for myself, because I have never had really nice experience around me.
Yeah.
So I wish I had met you back then.
Yeah.
But that genuinely is the experience of a lot of people who don't want kids because they feel like their life will stop.
Yeah.
That they will not be able to do anything. And having known Nawal from single to 2 babies, she's the same and actually more now. Like she's doing a lot more.
You can still live your life. You can still do it. Just build the systems around it. Dedicate. Be present in every single moment that matters to you, whether that's at work, whether that's with your friends.
Correct.
Friends are so important. Relationships are so important.
Correct.
Your kids are also very important.
Can we talk about this system, because I feel that it might be very useful for other people.
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by system? And
so the system for me is the balance, right? So for me is like what's important for me. What are my P0s? Like what is the utmost most important things that are bound that no one can touch. And that I design. I'll keep it a little bit vague so that people can maybe design it the way they like. So these are my absolute pieces. It can be gym, it can be reading time, self-reflection time, meditation, whatever that is, yeah? Time with my kids. These are like my go-to, untouchable. And then you kind of like book them in your calendar. I book everything in my calendar. Like I book like 7 to 8. I'm going to be doing that. These are the untouchables. And then you give yourself some flexibility during the day to focus on other stuff. The P1s, right? So these are the other stuff that come in your way, and you might need some flexibility. And For example, I'll tell you that in my kids' school now, I have to attend to birthday parties, I have to attend to school gatherings, I have to attend, and I cannot do it all. And I actually spoke with my kids. And I really spoke with them because they feel bad. They feel like left out. And I spoke with them. I'm going to be where when it matters. Does this event really matter to you? Because I think communication is so important. And then, no, it's okay, mama, no need to come. Are you sure? And they're like, yeah, okay. But for this one, it's unmissable. Mystery reader for my son was like, you have to come. You have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to make some time. And then I adjusted my schedules accordingly. So keeping that part of agility in your schedules, but then also booking the things that you will not have anyone touch and that are so important for you.
This is so true, Nawal. I was reading a book a couple of years ago. It's called The Year of Yes. Shonda Rhimes, right? So she was talking about it. She's like, anytime you meet someone, they go like, how do you do it all? How do you do it all? And she's like, I don't. Because when I'm at an event and I'm at an award function, I'm missing my child's rehearsal.
Yeah.
She was literally describing a scene where she was going to an award. She eventually had to realize that she can have a few things, but she can also find those moments with her kids where she was going for an award ceremony and her kid is like, please play with me. Yeah. And she just sat down for 30 minutes and she's like, it's okay if I'm late, it's fine. But people need to understand when Nawal is at work, she's missing out some quality time with her kids. Maybe they have a, sports day today.
Exactly.
And like she's in a pitch instead, or a pitch meeting, or a meeting instead. When she's at, a kid's birthday party, she's showing up for her daughter and her son. She's missing out, I don't know, and a speaking event where she could have been on a panel, So from the outside, people think that you're doing it all, but also you struggle with like juggling. But people need to understand you need to pick your battles and be okay with it. And that's what you're saying as well.
I think it's two things if I'm going to bottom line it. You have control.
Yes.
Don't think that you're out of control. Control as much as you need to make yourself attuned. And the second one, create support systems around you.
Yes.
I think like these two things will really create the life that will make you feel alive. And I'm going to continue saying the word alive throughout our podcast. Because feeling alive is
literally the most important thing. And I'm very annoying with the constant community bit, but I cannot stress enough. And someone used the word social currency as a terminology, and you don't like it? But the definition of social currency was social currency security, as in like not just having financial freedom, but your social and your surrounding is also something that will help you through difficult times.
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought less it's like people intentionally building their social around them for
No. Having like real people like
so it
today.
become like a narcissistic thing.
No. Having whenever you move somewhere, having people is why community and genuinely meeting people where they are, not because you want to take, guys. There's no way you're going to benefit out of a society if you don't give back, and go always with an intention to serve. You will get so much benefit out of it. And social currency as well, like what you were saying, having the right people around you, that's how that's the terminology we use, is that having people around you who really look after you. And aside from family, they're friends as well. Because there are people in your life who serve a different purpose. You'll have even if you have a supportive
100%.
partner, right?
Yes, of course. Your kids' friends, the friends of your kids and their moms, your own friends and how they show up for you. I cannot count how many times I called my friends for support and they've been there for me. My family is in Lebanon. How would they come to support? And this community in Dubai is so important, and I really call them my family, my Dubai family. They'll be so proud of themselves when they hear that.
Our chosen family.
Yes, because look, we are social creatures, whether we're introverts or extroverts, wherever we are social creatures. We social supports, communities support us, and this is where we need to be as well. There's one more thing I wanted to add, which is don't be worried or ashamed if you ask for help, especially for women, you don't have it all, and that's okay. No one has it all. Nothing in what we're experiencing today is normal. We're living in an AI age. I now have to look at my kid and understand how will I actually build them for the future. I'm looking 20 years from now. What are the jobs?
Yeah.
No one is no one is teaching me, right? No one is teaching us how to be there for them. No one is teaching us anything, and we have to recreate how we do things because we are not the same as. So our parents did what they had to do to get us where we are today, and no one came to them and told them this is how you do it, like 1, 2, 3, right? And for us, it's the same thing. So it's okay to ask for help, to engage in meaningful conversations with friends and families that are like-minded, or are like different-minded as well, like are not similar to you, because you can be inspired from them and it can open up new waves of thinkings for you. So why not engage in conversations and really talk about meaningful matters without feeling afraid or ashamed that you're asking for help? I think
Yeah.
that is really important.
Yeah, being unhinged is really important.
Yeah.
Over time, I became like super unhinged. I'm like, it's fine. You said it, move on. Like, what's it going to be? There are like 50 other people you meet. And if you look back, really, really look back, because sometimes someone comes up in a conversation, I'm like, who? And I realize we've met hundreds of people in our lives.
Yeah.
What are they going to say?
Yeah.
What are they going to say? They're not going to help you? Fine, whatever. It's okay.
Yeah, but I'll tell you a secret. Everyone wants to help. You just
Yeah.
need to ask it.
That's
Yeah.
true. But I have one question. It's a little bit awkward, but did you have a friend who stopped talking to you after the birth, because we were talking
like
about the
this
support
question,
and help
yeah.
and everything. But for example, like it was a joke between my friends, of course, but I have friends who are child-free. And they
Yeah.
already asked me when exactly I want to have children. So they calculated that during this time we are not going to talk. Of course, it was like a joke.
Yeah.
But still, like in real life, of course, it happens. So just did it happen to you? How did you overcome it?
That's actually a fantastic question, because I know a lot of moms have gone through that.
Yes. Unfortunately, not all your friends will meet you where you are. And it takes a huge level of awareness and empathy for them to understand what you're going through and how can they show up to the new person that you're becoming. So I would say yes. But I would say, I don't want to steal like Kamal, but no, let them. Like if you just invite them over and have them part of your journey and have them part of that, like invite them over for lunch or invite them over so they kind of understand. Most of them, by the way, it's just because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle the new you.
Yeah. I would say, as someone on the outside, like we have a friend who's much younger and she had her first kid. And she was in her 20s, late 20s, when she recently had, mashallah, like beautiful kid.
Yeah.
She recently had her second kid. But obviously she goes through her struggles, but she doesn't vocalize it a lot. I think she's not used to, but we as a group, the group that we have, we always check in and we're
Yeah.
obsessed with the kids. So we have to ask permission because we don't want to overstep as well. So there are like two spaces here, right? One is where the mom doesn't want to feel like a burden because she's like overthinking. She's with the child. She's not doing anything else but with the child. And she's like honestly in mom guilt. And then she's in like, I don't want to like pressure my friends. They're having a life and like just because I had a child, blah, blah. And us, we're like, oh, she has a child. We can't like, bother her and like jump in or like just go in. So we check in. We can try and do that. But I think you're right. Most people want to help because we are literally sitting. We're like, we will babysit your child.
Yeah.
We will sit there. You want to go out, do that. But I think she's still going through motherhood. Like she's a person who wants to be in that journey because she wants that for herself, which is completely fine. But yeah.
But as well, if you really think about it, the friends that don't want to make any effort,
Yes.
are they really friends?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're talking about my situation.
No. I'm saying
like,
it in general. Yeah, in general, like.
It's like when you lose money and you lose friends.
Or you leave your current job and they stop talking to you.
I
or
think it's a bit
can be
different because, for example, when you graduated from the university, you also stopped being friends with some other people because you just have different journeys. And I feel it might be the same because you are becoming a mom and you pay more attention to your kids and everything. They have other priorities, so you stop showing up for them. That's why they stop showing up for you. So I don't know. I think that it's a little bit difficult if you are like on very different path and you are not going to like come to the same point at some moment.
So I find that very interesting because I've thought about this before. And I used to think that because someone's life is different from mine, I would never be good friends with them. But I swear if whenever I get married and you come to my wedding, you'll see a roster of literally opposites, random habit people. It's because we connect on a soul level and we don't connect on like life phases and situation. But I think it's very subjective. It doesn't necessarily. You're right though. Like priorities change, people move on, people move forward. I've had experiences where people got married and they disconnected their friends, you know, only to realize that that social currency was so important. Like you can't be just one person. You can't be a subsect of another person. You just like, although like not to reduce being a wife or a mother in any way possible, but like just being your own person is also important, right? Because then you suddenly, I don't know, it's just like disconnect from the reality as well.
No, I think that maybe what you're talking about, that it's like a job for both of you, for the mom and for her friends. Because, for example, you also need to put maybe a little bit effort.
Yeah.
For example, if you talk only about your children, obviously your friends who don't have children, they might feel a little bit like bored and everything, and like you have nothing to talk about. That's why I feel like maybe all of you need to put a bit of effort in it. I don't know.
Everyone needs to.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if they're real friends, they will put the effort.
Yeah.
I think it's very organic, right?
And you also will determine, is this important for you or not?
Or not, yes, exactly.
And again, you're in control.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%.
And if you really care about that person, then you will find time to like even just hang out with that person by yourself, like an adult time.
Literally.
It won't happen every week. You can design it to happen maybe every 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Maybe not every year, but
but you're always in touch, like video calls and then WhatsApp. And
the way life is
going,
well. People are meeting after 6 to 7 to 8 months. We literally created like we all went back to Snapchat because we were not meeting enough. So we created a private story where we're just sharing our lives so we don't feel like we're missing out.
You're using Snapchat?
Just for friends. Just for friends, yeah. I mean, I don't use it for like public stuff, but like just for friends, we get baby updates, we share our updates, and it's
there are so many ways to stay connected. You know, we create these close groups.
Yeah.
We share. Yeah. We get on a monthly call, like all of us together, and we plan for something together as well. So that also gets us together more closer and like more in touch.
Yeah.
So I think it's all in the design of it, right?
Honestly, when you talk about, I feel like there's so many nuances to this, right? Friends change, people change because of reasons, as you said, priorities change, or someone is not interested in this phase of your life. Yeah, it happens. Like whatever, move on. We move on. We go for it. But I feel like in a woman's life, I think motherhood is probably one of the biggest life-changing moment in their life.
It is. And we created programs, and these programs are available, and I ask women if they don't have them in their company to ask for them. Speak with their HR, speak with the resources group. There are kind of like programs for coming back to work.
Please tell me more about that.
So coming back to work, first you work on the leader, because the leader needs to understand and have empathy, because not all of them are moms as well, or dads. And for that sense, they need to also understand what that person is going through. So they go through like an awareness session. They have a manual as well to understand what they have in terms of like sick leave, maternity leave, how will they apply for their leaves, how can they support them not to get impacted on performance reviews and throughout their career. And so it's not like it's not a break from your job. You're actually doing something big in your life. And how can they show up for them? And then also another one is for the employees. So the employees where they basically have all the resources that they need. They can create also buddy programs. So moms who have been there and then can support them throughout the coming back. So the buddy is like, you know, because we're in the same work, so we kind of have the same atmosphere and same problems. So we can relate and support each other. There are clubs that can be created for parents so they can share, you know, concerns on policies or whatnot. So it can be raised also to HR in a very synergetic and also proper manner. So action can be taken. And then also, last but not least, look at always the benefits that we need to make this sustainable. The last bit is how do you design? Like I said, I designed it with my team and my manager that between 6 to 8, that's my sacred time. They can design it differently, the way they would like, especially when it's a small kid. They're not sleeping all night, so they might want to come later to work.
Yeah.
And then leave. So they kind of like they have to start designing this. We didn't talk about, breastfeeding and then
Yeah.
breastfeeding at work and creating breastfeeding rooms. And in Italy, I had to do it in the toilet, so I quit. Like there wasn't that option. But things have really went, and maturity is so much higher than before. And just we need to ask for it, demand it. And yeah, like, these resources are available for people. They just need to know that they can tap into it.
So, okay, that's really fascinating because I have never heard of this.
Yeah.
Where can you access all of this?
Yeah, you're creating this at your current company. Nawal, do you know this is like a jewel box that you need to, consult with other companies to add? Because
Yeah,
it
we're
will
always
change.
engaged with other tech companies on how to make things
Oh, that's
better.
amazing.
Yeah, we have communities. We have women in tech and sub-communities of that and whatnot. So we always share these things that we do.
Okay, that's fantastic. We have to talk later.
Yeah.
Because this is amazing because I know a lot of moms, and it's honestly it's not a disadvantage if somebody wants to stop working. I think it's fine. Like I would love to stop working for a bit. I don't mind if I want to focus on something else in my life, whether it's a child or myself and so on. There's one friend of mine who quit working because she just felt like she couldn't keep up, but she enjoyed working. There's another friend who just didn't care. Like she wanted to be a mother, and that's beautiful to watch as well. I completely respect that. But there was a friend who liked working, who liked her job. She was doing well, and she had to quit her job. Actually, one of the bigger reasons, of course, because you're you, but one of the bigger reasons we wanted to talk about this was I got 2 messages from people saying you need to talk about motherhood and advertising and tech because there are so many struggles and there are not enough resources. So this is amazing to hear because I have working moms. And have you heard of something like this?
No, to be honest, I don't have a lot of friends who have children, especially
Just
here in
even in your
Dubai.
surrounding, like at work, I don't think I've ever heard that kind of support system and guidance.
And these can be created, right? Even if they're not there, they can be created from the grassroots. It doesn't need to come from the company.
Yeah.
You can always create these communities and sub-communities in your companies that can really help you and guide you. And there's a way to do it. It's not so hard.
Yeah.
You just need to find people who are passionate about this and then share that and lead with it.
I think you're right about that. I thought a lot of bigger companies have talent transformation teams who are working on wellness and mental health and all of that. And for mothers and for dads, there's paternity has been extended. But I don't think it's enough for moms. No. There's not enough. Like, I empathize because I've seen my friends and my brother's wife go through it as well. There's so many other things that only moms can tell you what they go through. We can just sit there and be like, oh, okay, like, can we help? But you don't even know how to help. Like, how can you help and show up as well?
Exactly.
So important.
Moms can only feel that they can be, and even dads, by the way. Let's not forget about dads, because it's a two-way. It takes two to tango for this. But then creating these buddy programs and creating these communities, these sub-communities at work, or within the same community, so say advertising, okay, where you get together, or tech where you get together. It doesn't all have to be in the same job. Makes a huge difference in how you feel. You're not alone. You've got it. You've got someone to support you. You've got someone who passed through the same experience and can directly give you tips and tricks to overcome, because these are small challenges. These are not necessarily I want to become a mom challenge. These are like, how can I put my kid to sleep? Kind of challenges. How do you keep yourself, freshened up all day, given that,
By the way, how do you do this? I think it's the most important question.
She looks more awake than I do. Can I just add one more thing with the community thing that you said, the buddy programs, all of that. There is also a shame around certain moms struggling with postpartum where they're unable to love their child as well. I'm glad you had the experience where you were able to feel the love towards Alia, but some kids do not. Some mothers do not feel.
I'll break it for everyone. The first time I saw Talia, I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, exactly.
My mom passed through the same thing. Yeah, it's okay.
Exactly. There's so much shame, and they can't even say that. They're like, I don't hate my child, but also like take this kid away from me now.
But it took me a day, not even a day. 1 hour.
You're counting number of hours.
I'm like maybe like it was so emotional. I'm just trying to remember. It didn't take me a long time. It was such a short time, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
where are we going with this? I cannot love her
Yeah.
more than that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just trust the process.
That's the thing. Everybody talks about the obsession and the kind of love you have as a mother and as a father, but nobody talks about the initial struggle and that there's something wrong with you right now is the only reason why you feel this way, not because you hate your child. And you've been waiting for this child, and they're so afraid to talk about this. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
And
You've
I
heard
would
about
say
this,
there's
right?
nothing wrong. You just need the space
But
and
people,
time.
people look
People
at them.
judge. People
Yeah,
judge. People judge.
They
Yes,
judge,
yes,
you
yes.
know?
They do. But if you don't judge yourself and you don't really get them under your skin.
Again, it's about the conversations. I feel like if people like you continue the conversation, I think it's going to make a difference because you are making a huge difference. While we're on this topic of like making a difference with people, let's segue into Madam Nawal doing another thing, which is Nawal is now a certified coach.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that, please?
So, where to start? Where do I begin? Yes, so I recently got my certification in coaching, but it has been a 2 to 3 years journey, 2.5 years. And it's been transformational for me, to say the least. But that's how I am alive. That's how I'm awake. And that's how I'm connected to myself, really. It has transformed the way, why I'm here today. It's so much aligned with what I really want and what's not my North Star at work or my North Star in like the next 2 years or so. It's like my life purpose. And when you start tapping into these important conversations with your coach, because I had a coach first, and then I was like, wow. And then it got me connected to understand that it's actually something I love to give back as well to the community. And that's how my journey started. So my life purpose got actually so clear for me through this coaching journey. And also I got in touch with my strengths, because a lot of us just look at our weaknesses and want to improve them. We forget like how powerful we are. We just need to understand what that strength is and who's that leader within us, and how can we tap into that. So yeah, I'm on my coaching journey at the moment. It's just starting for me. This is just the beginning, I would always say. And I'm excited for the impact I will continue to drive. And I think that's connected to our first question
First
as well.
question, like what's your driving, what drives ambition and success for you right now?
Why did you spend 2 or 3 years? Is it that's how much you need to spend to get this certificate, or how?
Yeah, because like to be a certified coach, you know, like you need to go through a journey.
Yeah.
You need to allow yourself to be immersed. You need to be the client. You need to go through everything your client might be going through. You need to tap into perspectives, emotions, and whatnot. So I actually was one of the consistent people, and it didn't take me 2 to 3 years in a way where that's how much time it takes. Everyone does it at their own pace. Some people it takes them 5 years to do it.
Okay.
Some people it takes them 1 year to do it. So it's not necessarily the time frame that it takes you to be for it to be done. It's like how much time you need to hone these skills. Because active listening, I'll tell you, active listening is something that everyone thinks they have. When you start coaching, you will know that you are not even there. You know, as a person, you're not even listening to yourself.
That's very interesting. Can you give
Yeah.
some tips or some ideas what exactly you mean here?
Yeah.
What do you need to do when you are doing active listening? What's the difference with what, for example, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel active listening is.
Yeah. Yeah. How to be a great listener, basically.
Yeah.
We can do it it's better to be done in an experiment, but I'll explain it.
We can try the
We can try it
experiment.
now. Is there an exercise we can do now?
You can like put your chairs back to each other and then start.
Back to each other.
Back to each other.
Yeah, it's a
Can
it's
we
a little
look
bit tough in
away?
the setup.
Can we look away?
No, it's like literally like you put your chair here and the other chair there, and
Okay.
then you start talking.
All right.
There's something,
Okay.
but I can explain it in a way that's also like drawing
Okay.
it forward. So to start with, there are 3 levels of listening. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. As a client, you're usually in your level 1. So you're only thinking about all your thoughts. Now you're interviewing me. You're thinking about the next question. You're in your head, right? It's normal. Like so this
I
is
was just
usually-
blank. I didn't think
Yeah.
about anything.
And it takes you like you're entering into 2 and 1. You continue getting into, you're listening to what I'm saying, but then you go back and like getting into your head to try to understand what's the next question. And that's and that's a skill. So that's level 1 is basically in yourself, in your head. Level 2 is basically me listening to what you're saying, but not necessarily to the exact words you're saying only, but also to the energy you're delivering. So you can say, yeah, I'm happy. Oh, really? Yeah, you're very happy. So like the way you're saying it, the choice of words, the energy that's coming from your movement as well, how you're saying it. So how you're resonant, your eyes are showing up or are they dumb? What's your voice like? So there's a lot of aspects to that. Level 3 is that the room. So when we entered this room today, for example, it was so bright and shiny and all of that. It gave that really good vibe, you know? So that vibe in the room is where we say it's level 3, so it's like the whole. So in coaching, you actually tap into 2 and 3 all the time. And your client is on level 1. Right? So for you to just hone that skill, you really need to practice a lot, you know, to get out of your judgment mindset, because we tend to like directly want to give advice as well, right? You say, no, you're okay. You're gonna be fine. I'm like, solution driven. Want to fix everything. Coaching is not fixing.
But I'm curious. Now, when you know all the skills, are you doing it all the time when you just talk to your friends, when you are just talking to your colleagues, for example, or you do it only during the coach sessions?
Look, it changes something in you, for sure, in a very good way, where the first thing it changes is you. It's basically matures you as a person. It doesn't mean that you don't get into triggers. The other day, my mom was like, "You're a coach. How are you shouting?" I'm like, "Yeah, like
moms are the best.
Yeah,
moms are the
and I'm
best.
like, "Yeah, thanks for telling me that there was a trigger I need to like look into." Like, I'm not like, don't expect coaches to be perfect all the time. So that's a disclaimer. But in all cases, we're authentic human being, right? You'll be more aware about your triggers, about your limiting beliefs, about your perspectives that you currently have. You have a perspective about maternity at the moment, right? And if we go into balance, we call it in coactive model, we call it balance coaching. We can tap into different perspectives, and then you can really understand where that is coming from and what do you want from it. And it will change your whole, it's like, you know, when you have lenses that are blurry on your eyes and you remove them so you see clearly, that's the perspective, right? That's the power of coaching. And to get into all of these, like, to start getting into that, so you also have to go through a process yourself. And then you can really start being more present with your clients. You can be, you know, more of impact to your client as well. And that's what differs one coach from the other. So coaches are actually different levels. So if anyone doesn't know, the first level is CPCC, which is for example, or what they call ACC. And CTI. So there are faculties, there are like federations of coaching, by the way. And if you want to hire a coach, hire him with a certificate. Or he needs to come and tell you that I'm training to become a coach, right? If he doesn't have that certificate. So there's the Coaching Federation institution, that's a global community, global institution that basically approves and validates and governs all the coaching certifications that are coming. I branched into Coactive because I believed in their model, and it's part of CFI.
Okay.
Which is the Coaching Federation. So with that, you know, you get into that journey of how they get you into for example, in Coactive, there are so many other schools, but in Coactive, there's the fundamental, balance, process, synergy. And then after that, there's a 6 months intensive program. And that's when you get to your first level. And then once you record 200 hours, you get your first level. Then you get into 500 hours. That's your next level. And then 1,000 hours of coaching. And it's not just coaching. I think there has been a lot of coaches online, but they're not really coaches. The real coaching happens in a room,
Offline,
and offline.
Are there any different specialties for coaching? I mean, like, for example, if you want to be a coach, do you need to choose specific specialty? For example, you are going to coach work-related stuff, or you're going to be a life coach?
Look,
dating coach.
Relationship coach.
Which Nawal turns into once in a while.
Look, Anna, I don't believe that people like to see it that way. I'm just gonna say that. People like to see that they have a problem in relationship and they're going to get fixed from a relationship, and then when they enter into a coaching conversation, they understand that it's the person as a whole. They understand that life is not just one dimension, right? So I would say that nonetheless, there are so many coaches that are really great and are doing emphasis. So they kind of like get more deeper into a certain topic, and they kind of can give a workshop or something around it. But a coaching conversation or if you hire a coach, if he's a good coach or she's a good coach, they can coach you in any topic.
100%.
Because it's about the client. It's not about the topic.
Yeah. Because it's your underlying belief is what makes you show up in the way you do for relationship, at work, with your family, with your friends.
As a leader, for me, coaching executives and leadership is another level.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a different dimension as well, because you're talking about leadership styles and where are they leading from, and what's driving their leadership, gravitas or knowledge or thought leadership, and how they position themselves and whatnot, and how do they want to collaborate with their team, how do they want to be seen, how do they want to be remembered. That for me is a different, not a different, but it's a chartered path. Like, you need to really get deeper into it, and you need to have the experience of, also like a higher experience at work, so you can understand the world they are in better, right? But as like, and that's like very specific, right?
Yeah.
And it's anyone can coach, but I mean, if you really want to drive impact, they're at a deeper level. But everyone else, like,
That's so interesting, to be honest. I didn't know this stuff about coaching. But just to be a little bit more practical, did you find some disbeliefs in yourself that helped you to change, for example?
do you have a list?
Tell me just a couple of them.
Like, that piece of paper that goes all the way down? Like, yeah, many of them.
What's the biggest, for example?
The biggest disbelief is I can do it.
So you thought that you couldn't do this?
No.
Uh-huh.
Like, I didn't believe that I will be here. I couldn't believe that I can do it all. Being a mom, aspiring at my work and striving at it, and also building my coaching community.
Okay, fine. But how exactly did you work on this? For example, you understood that you had some belief that you cannot do different things, or you're not maybe that good at some stuff. How did you manage to overcome it? So, okay, you understood the problem, but how can you fix it?
I thought I was emotional, for example, one of the things, that I cry. And I like, if someone tells me, because usually people come to you with very strong emotions, and I thought that I don't have self-management, and that I will be carrying a lot of what is happening in the conversation in a coaching session home, and it will impact me and whatnot. So it's called self-management. I realized that it's a skill you can do better.
Oh, is it? Because all my life I feel like I had been that friend that people would organically come and tell their problems to. And I would get so overwhelmed at some point. I don't like, I feel very, very lucky that, and like, people can come and like feel like they can offload, even people I barely know. And I feel extremely lucky, and that's not to say like I'm some incredible person or whatever, but I think I was able to.
You're warm.
I'm glad. Like, I feel very lucky, and I feel like that's also like a blessing in my life that I'm able to create a space for someone to share. But man, does it drain me at some point. And I wanted to be a psychologist when I was younger, and I still read books around it. But it's really good.
My parents thought I would work with psychos.
Oh my God, my dad said the same thing. My dad, oh my God,
that was the awareness. That was the awareness back then.
They're all the same. But it's so good to know. Like, I know we can balance our emotions, but it's so good to know it's a skill that you can like detach and then like really be there for the person, and you don't need to take on that. What is the word called? It's I don't want to use empathy. I don't want to use empathy as a word, but like, I think there's a word where you just like, their problems become your own, and I felt like I became that. I felt like I was carrying the load for them, and I had to.
You were too immersed.
Yeah, I was too immersed, and recently I've been actively trying to not be the savior, and be like, I'm here to listen, and I cannot constantly be the savior.
I can tell you, there's something around being a savior that's important for you, and it's worth a conversation to go a lot deeper in it.
Yeah, I think I'll book a session with you.
Yeah. But then this is it, right? So self-management, then you carry it outside of your coaching.
Yeah.
So how are you being
Yeah.
do self-management in your own circle of friends?
Yeah.
Without having, if your friends are passing through a rough time, for you not to be over emotional, but actually be someone who can really be of help for them.
Absolutely.
Because you are self-managed. With your kids, you don't go loco and they go loco. At work, sometimes things go north, like south at work,
Yes.
right? And it becomes so chaotic. Like, how can you stay
Composed. And
composed?
I am so jealous of people who are angry, but they can deliver their message in such a low tone and then say what they need to say, and you're just like I'm able to do that to some people because in some situations I really don't
Yeah.
care, and when they're screaming and they're anxious, I'm like, I start laughing. I'm like, why are you screaming? It's okay, it's not, because I feel like I'm not as attached to the thing, because I've had that experience and I know what the outcome is, so I don't feel like it's that big of a deal, and it is fixable, and I feel like they're foreseeing something that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I've experienced that, so I can do it. But in some situations when I don't know anything and when you are unaware of what's next, you get anxious and you shout and you raise your voice, and I'm like, my goal is to be able to always be still, think first before I speak. And if I'm angry, if I'm pissed off and someone's trying to trigger me, I need a way to respond to them in a way that makes me proud. Like, I'm not reactive, because I used to be very reactive, very, very reactive. In some situations, I still am, because I feel like I just need to respond quickly. Because my brain, I need to explain, I over-explain. And then I'm like, well, it's not necessary. It's my brain. It's playing a trick on me,
True.
But at work, yeah, you're so right. It's such a skill.
And I believe in a culture of the leaders who are coaches.
Yes.
I believe in that. So mentorship has been there. And I think mentorship is easy because it's an advice on an actual task or a job function, and you tap into the expert in the field. But coaching is another level. Coaching puts the person first, puts the dreams, the ambitions, opens up conversations that are deeper, so you can have a true synchronization and help the other person have a fulfilled journey at work, right? All in the benefit of the business at the end of the day, whether benefit of that relationship that you are building to have a better working environment, to have a better. So I'm all in with positive reinforcement. I'm all in with positive working environments. Stress is only constant and it's around us. It's just how we respond to it, right? So self-management came and helped me about that.
Interesting. How does coaching look? I mean, like, for example, the client comes to you, and they start talking about, I don't know, maybe their problems or anything. Can you give them advice, or you just need to listen and ask them questions?
You don't give them advice. You get them to discover.
So, for example, you already know the problem, but you're not going to give it to them.
Not necessarily. No, you go in with, I don't know anything and I know everything. That's the mindset, right? I have the tools that will support my client to first establish the agenda. So that's very important. If your coach doesn't establish the agenda with you first and what you want to get out of the session, know that you just had just a nice conversation with a person, okay, that you paid money for, okay? So it has to start with an agenda, and then it needs to end with the outcomes. And once that is done, then basically your coach will start asking questions. And then your coach has tools to use. So models, for example, in Coactive, we've got either process, balance, fulfillment. We also tap a little bit deeper into different folds within these models. So we use our intuition to choose what model we want to get into. Is it looking deeper? Is it something that's deep in your body? Is it stuck emotion? Or is it a perspective? You're not seeing everything clearly. Or is it that you're not really envisioning what's happening? What's the future of it?
By the way, who needs coaching? I mean, for example, you need to have some problem to come to you, or is it like, for example, you are lost at life at work and you can come and discuss it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I get asked that a lot because for a therapist, everyone knows.
Yeah.
But for a coach, everyone's like, do I need a coach or do I need... I feel like coach is great for everyone to have, even if you don't really think that you need one.
But you need to come with the specific ask,
But you
right?
need to have an agenda, yeah. Like, I attract people who want to know what's next in their career. I've attracted a lot of that. I've attracted people who have so many limiting beliefs when it comes to their journey at work. And I attract, for example, people who just, can't really know where they're going in life. Like, okay.
I think this might be the most common issue,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah. So, and suddenly it's one day that you wake up and feel like, you know what? I want to take back control of my life. And that's when you hire a coach.
Yeah. It's funny because we have abundance of choices and we're the most lost generation there ever was,
Yeah.
right?
But that's a beauty as well for me.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
yeah.
a beauty for me. To be lost means that we are getting out of the way of what we,
Yeah, I think to be
I'm
lost.
a rebel at heart. So
Yeah,
I'm like, why
I
not?
love it. To me, to be lost as well, I agree it's a beautiful thing because I feel like, oh, there are possibilities that I
Yeah.
haven't discovered yet. You know, when you were talking about like different techniques, I was thinking at that moment, I was thinking about somebody else that I had known who went into some level of coaching, but like, what's the word? Something to do with the brain. I forget. But he also does hypnotherapy. No, it was something else. It was some not biohacking, but something similar. And then he did hypnotherapy. We also know somatic release. I am actually a big believer of somatic release. Pressure points in your body can help you like release a lot of stress, and you can literally de-bloat yourself and relax yourself. That's why dancing really helps. Actually, dancing. Why does it make you so happy when you're dancing and jumping around? Is because you are shaking out a lot of your like stuck emotions in your body, and it releases dopamine after that. So I mean, there's a lot of like theory around it. I don't know how would you think about the do you because I always say even psychology has different techniques.
Yeah.
And I think one is not enough. These are all tools.
No, yeah.
You need to have one assisting the other. So people think when they go to therapy, that's all they need. It's a tool, guys. You're not going to go to therapy and come back, oh, happy. They're not going to give you drugs.
There's a
like,
lot of therapists that are now coaches as well, by the way.
at all.
Yeah,
By the
they-
way, what I like about what you said about coaching is you took your time to really understand emotion, understand yourself, understand nuances, and you're going to have this ongoing journey. What happens in a lot of medical fields, unfortunately, with psychotherapy is a lot of because I've had a friend who I forced to go to therapy, and his therapist was so bad that he's like, I'm never going. She was yawning. I went through traumatic life experiences. I'm never going. I'm fine on my own. And he never went back. Like, I wish he could go back. But, like, they just do a training. They start...
and that's the, Anna, for me, ask for credentials.
Yes.
Ask for hours of coaching.
Yeah.
Ask about the school they are coming from. And know if it's a CTI or CFI certification. You are protected as a client. Just you need to know.
These two certificates, are they the global one?
The CFI one, yeah. So so CFI accredits certain schools. So then you will know which schools are accredited by CFI.
Ah, okay, cool.
Amazing. Paula, Paula? Shit, sorry, I read Paula's name. Sorry, my bad. I'm getting like 50 messages today. Nawal, this was
Extremely
amazing. I love it because we've loved all our guests, but this couldn't be a better closing to the season.
Thank you, Anna.
You are
Thank you.
fantastic, and you honestly, it was so enlightening, and I feel like there's a lot of post work after this as well that I think we need to do. I think we have to have some discussion, and we'd love to have you on for season 2 as well. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, we
It's
love
been a
having
pleasure.
you.
And I hope we have impacted one or two or maybe many.
Honestly, yes, I wish the same, and I can't wait for people's feedback because I love getting them, and even if it's in private messages, even if they're not showing up on my likes or like on our messages on like on socials, I love getting the direct messages. So I hope Chrissy, this one was for you because you asked me to do this, and Sarah, it was for you. And also like all my mom friends, Haneen and Aisha, who are like doing amazing things, because I hope I can contribute some way in what you've shared about how moms can use the support. And I hope more people can know, even people who don't have kids can find a way to be there for their mom friends. And the coaching stuff. Well, if you're looking for an incredible coach, Nawal, we will link her, profile on the description, and you can check her out.
Thank you.
Amazing.
It's been
Thank you,
amazing.
Nawal.
Bye.
Yay. Thank you for everyone who supported us.
It was an amazing season 1. I really like it.
Yeah. Thanks for all the encouragement, all the friends who showed up, and all the new listeners. We loved having you. Thank you for showing us grace. And we're taking a short break.
But we will get back
Very, very soon. And we have some exciting things that we're doing once we're back for season 2. And we're hoping it will be an ongoing process because you'll be hearing a lot more from us. Until then, enjoy your summer.
See you soon.
Bye.